Good evening, good evening. I just want to provide you an update of how I am right now, what the journey I had, and I just want to share with you my journey in this particular latest medical, shall I say, pain that I had on my knee, and of course, I just want to share with you my insights, my thoughts, the experience that I had, just so that if there are people who are in a similar situation like me, maybe you could learn from it, or maybe you could share with me your journey as well. So basically, in on May 22nd this year, it was a Sunday, and I suddenly noticed that I cannot walk. And being a very busy housekeeper, housewife, and everything in between, I cannot afford not to walk because I really have to function, to do some roles and functions. So, still and all, I cannot really walk. It's very painful. And I really opted lang to really stay home. Now, because we have deadlines, so I still reported for work on the 23rd. And even if I should have gone to the doctor immediately, I opted to report to the doctor after my office hours. So basically at around 7 or 8. And then because of that, I was entertained, or shall I say, treated at the emergency room. Of course, subject to protocol requirements insofar as COVID is concerned, it took time for me to be attended to. So in the ER, I had an X-ray. I had the uric acid something, blood extraction and all that, and then they told me that my uric acid is high, as well as my X-ray is not that good. Not necessarily, but my X-ray means that probably there's really the validation of the pain. So the assessment is gout. So they gave me medications and all that. Of course, there are instructions that you should go to the specialists like the ortho, rehab, and all that. But I was very, very busy because we have deadlines on May 31st. So what I did is I postponed going to the ortho. Although I already was taking the medicines prescribed for me for gout. Then when I went to the OR doctor after possibly 2 weeks, he told me that no, it's not gout because you don't have naman inflamed or paga na paa. So he told me that my case is an arthritis. Okay, so again and again, what he told me is just to stop all the pain medicines, and all that I have is to just magpapayat lang. But being on this frame takes a long shot, unless I'll go on, some really abrupt weight reducing techniques, which is really not advisable anyway. So, and I said, so after that, I decided to go to a rehab doctor. So I went to the rehab doctor, and the rehab doctor told me na there is no assurance that I would be cured. It's just that the therapy sessions would more or less lessen the pain and all that. So I proceeded with therapy sessions and all that. But then again, napapagod na ako. Sabi ko, ano pang gagawin ko? And then after that, I I was even thinking of going to albularyo because probably sabi ko baka nakulam ako. Pero sino naman ang kukulam sa akin and all that. But anyway, so and I'm even planning to go to a herbalist. So but suddenly the Facebook has helped me because suddenly the someone gave me a private message in the messenger, and she told me that what is your problem? And I said, oh, hindi po ako makalakad and all that. And she said, oh, bakit hindi ka pumunta sa doktor na to? Ganyan, ganyan. Kami nga umuwi pa para sa kanya and all that. So I don't know this doctor actually until she endorsed it to me. So she told me that the name is this one, the doctor is Sagani Lial and all that. So I said, okay, thank you, mom, and all that. And I said, okay, I will be the one to research. So I researched it, and it turns out that his clinic is at West Avenue. So I went there equipped with all the guidelines and all that. Of course, it's not easy to set an appointment, but I was able to set an appointment. So they checked on me. I brought my X-ray from Maddox and all that. But even if you have an X-ray, you'll also be, having some scans. There's a body scan on his clinic. So I went there, and then he told me that the medical alternatives or interventions that is being done to me might be futile because really my case is not a typical knee injury or something. No, it's not. What in my case is actually part of his specialty because my case pala is ang tawag dun ay bone spurs. So basically, may tumubo na mga bones sa aking tuhod. Kaya pag ako'y nakaupo, okay lang ako. Pero pag ako'y tumayo, ay masakit na siya. Parang may tumutusok sa'yo. So, sobrang sakit. So, um, kasi sabi ko sa kanya, Dok, hindi ko naman pwedeng maging patuloy na ganito ako kasi gusto ko naman maging normal. I mean, because of that, hindi ako nakaka-travel. I hold my jobs in abeyance and all that sa bahay, ganyan. And of course, I have to report to work naman even if I am ganito. Pero syempre nakakahiya din kasi lahat sinisilbi sa akin sa table ko. So, anyway, yun, it turns out that there is a new procedure of which he was the pioneer and the specialist, and he said that I would undergo USPOR. So USPOR is ultrasound guided percutaneous osteophyte removal, and basically ang gagawin is tatanggalin yung bones and all that, and then ang cure niya is the PRP or the platelet rich plasma therapy. So basically, they would get blood from me and all that. So in short, I had it scheduled and the schedule was August 2. So in between that, kasi medyo matagal pa yung schedule ko, tsaka syempre I have to gather money, because you have to pay really a sum of for the procedure. So kumbaga, ang ginawa ko, edi sige, nagpunta ako ng August 2. In fact, may dinner pa ako ng August 1, July 29, nasa Subic pa ako at rumampa-rampa doon. Because I have a very important meeting there. So in short, I went there, and I'm very grateful for my husband, my children, all of them. While probably the two are not there, but all of them are really in coherence in supporting me. In fact, they are even suggesting that I would have a personal caregiver and all that. Oh my gosh, I'm so I'm so touched yet. I'm so parang, oh my gosh, I'm really old. So anyway, yun, it was done outpatient, no. What they did first is to get the blood from here, and then they get a lot of it, and then apparently is that they would get the platelet or the plasma from there, and that would be the one to be injected to me later. So basically and then after that I went to the mini operating room, and then the doctor came and then of course the nurses are there already, and then the doctor performed the procedure. So the procedure is for around 1 hour. However, because nung inaayos na yung procedure ko, ginagawa na, biglang may nakita pang isa. So kumbaga, nakita pang isa, so the doctor has to remove it as well. There's a local anesthesia actually, and but then because it's bones, it's really not hindi pwedeng walang sakit. So may sakit pa rin kahit papaano. However, the doctor was very kind and I was very honest naman, saying masakit po, so ganun. So dadagdagan lang niya na anesthesia and all that. So what happens is meron lang ini-insert na instrument, tapos parang sinisil-sil niya yung aking buto, tinatanggal. We're guided by the ultrasound. Then after that, nung naalis na niya and all that, ang kanyang ang tawag doon? Ang paggamot ay yung plasma. Ibig sabihin, yung tinanggal sa akin na dugo here was kinuha nila yung plasma doon, and then yun ang in-inject back sa akin doon sa pinakang affected part. That's according to the doctor, that would heal my wound and all that. So parang ano ba yung explanation sa plasma? So basically, saglit lang ha. So PRP is done by harvesting platelets from the patient's own blood. Platelets act as bait to attract mesenchymal stem cells and growth factors, therefore stimulating repair and cell regeneration. So basically ganun. Parang yung plasma would attract for the regeneration of your cells. So basically ganun lang kasimple yung technology. So yun, medyo masakit yung plasma ng konti kasi ang plasma hindi yan masyadong hindi niya masyadong kinikilala yung anesthesia. So yun, medyo masakit. Imagine mo ibabalik sa no. So pero tolerable na, mataas naman ang endurance ko sa pain. So kumbaga it worked for me. So after that, lumabas na kami, uwi na kami, sinarado na yung clinic and all that. So there was an instruction given that I should really take. Before that, however, my son already bought the pain medicine kasi sabi niya masakit po yan pag nawala na yung anesthesia and all that. So yun, basically I rested for 7 days, although dapat pala 5 araw lang. Pero may extension akong 2 days, you know. So yun, now if moving forward, because you know I returned on August 10 to him, no, to the doctor. Dr. Isagani Lial. Doc, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a success. Alam mo, tiningnan niya yung pinakang tinusukan ng instrument. Wala siyang pain whatsoever. Wala, as in wala. And I'm so, you know, thank God. I mean, you know, my gosh. In fact, nagkakwentuhan pa nga kami ng doctor. Sabi ko, why it took so long for me to meet you, you know? Because sabi nga niya, baka kulang ka pa sa dasal. Sabi ko, madasali naman po ako. Sabi niya, baka kulang ka pa sa dasal. So anyway, the doctor is an ex-seminarian. So marami pa kami pinagkwentuhan ng mga tungkol sa Catholicism and all that. Anyway, so yun, I'm okay. Yung pinakang removal ng spurs at saka yung healing and all that, I'm so happy. Thank you, Lord, for, you know, all the glory is yours. Pero I will undergo pa therapy. Although my husband told me, wag mo nang i-therapy yan. Ikaw nang bahala mag-exercise sa sarili. Because of the prolonged period that I was walking, you know, limping. Alam mo yung sa amin hingkod. So instead na diretso ang lakad mo, nakaganong ka, no? So in short, my knee or the back of my knee developed a certain degree of parang stiffness, and as such, kailangan siyang i-therapy. Yun yung masakit sa akin ngayon. Pero hindi na yung dati na grabe, as in nung May 26, may attendant pa akong wedding. Remember, May 22nd, May 26, may attendant pa akong wedding. Bawat hakbang ko, sobrang sakit, as in. So, yun. Pero yun, wala na yun ngayon. Ang nasa akin na lang ngayon ay yun nga yung, ang tawag nila doon is bursitis. I don't know, hindi pa ako nakapag-research tungkol doon. Pero meron naman binigay na gamot yung doctor. So, yun, basically, I will return to him after a week and tingnan natin kung ano pa yung program na gagawin sa akin. But basically, if you want me to validate the procedure of removal of the spurs, to me, my assessment is it was a success. Although may pain pa ako nararamdaman, but it's not on the bones, but rather on the bone spurs, but rather on the stiffness of my knee because of halos ilang buwan akong ganun lumakad, di ba? So yun. So ganun yung situation ko, and I'm very pleased to meet Dr. Isagani Lial. He's a doctor from Mindanao who was trained in Israel. So and the doctors there introduced to him this technology. He's actually an expert. In fact, mahirap magpa-schedule. But anyway, so for those who are in a similar situation, maybe you want to seek his opinion first. The consultation is around 1,500, and but then the scan would cost you around 2,500, so more or less 4,000. Of course, I paid a little less because I have a daughter who is a doctor. But then even the procedure, I paid a little less than the usual amount. Of course, I cannot say the amount because you might say, no, sige, you just send me a PM. But basically, yeah, it's quite a sum because there are actually 4 alternative if I would not undergo that, no? So, number 1 is hayaan ko na lang na ganun siya. Ay di habang buhay na akong ganun, di ba? Ay sayang naman. Masakit, no? Pangalawa is open knee surgery, which means aalisin yung bone spurs, tapos kaisa-kasama. Matagal yun. That would be around 1 month of recuperation. And if I would stay in orthopedic on a private room, that would cost me around 180,000 more or less, no? Because it's 1 month, no? And then the third is the knee replacement therapy. Actually, hindi ko alam yung technology na yun because, and then the fourth nga is this one. And I'm very pleased that I was able to, napakinabangan ko yung pagiging FB ko, napakinabangan ko rin yung pagiging researcher ko, yung, alam mo yon, yung I really explore a lot and all that. Yun, yung more or less makikita mo yung napakinabangan ko pagiging street smart, no? Kasi hindi ako tumitigil, no? Hindi ako tumatanggap ng hindi ako gagaling. So, yun, basically yun ang ano. So, maybe you will ask, ano ang cause? Well. Sabi ng doktor, maaari daw na napakasipag ko. Even nung bata pa ako. Of which I would proudly say I am. I was and I am. And I still masipag. Maliit pa ako, nagbubuhat na ako ng mga, nagpipingga ako ng water, and then nagbubuhat ako ng sako ng bigas, tapos malayo yung aming pinaglalabhan, so sunong-sunong ko yung, alam ng mga kaibigan ko yan, sunong-sunong ko yung napakaraming labahin, bit ko and all that. So unnecessarily nabanat yung buto ko at an early age. Akala ko kayang-kaya ko. But then again, God is so good to me na ito lang ang binigay sa akin at sana'y wala nang ibang susunod. Because some actually have C1, C2, C3, di ba? Ako wala akong ganon. So, basically, akin lang ito lang. And it was finally cured by Dr. Isagani Lial. And I'm so grateful. And as such, also, I would want to express my thanksgiving to all of you, my gratitude to all of you for all your support, for all your care messages, prayers, and everyone. I really thank you. And I hope that I would recover 100% and I could actually, wear my high heels again and all that. So, but right now, I have to content myself wearing only flat shoes, rubber shoes, and all that. So, that's my condition right now. And in all of this, I'm always grateful for angels that come my way, the doctor, for people around me who showed support, my family, my siblings, my children, and my husband, and my friends who are really very sincerely expressing their concern for me. Meron pa iba nagpadala ng gamot, may iba nag-refer, sinamahan pa ako sa hijama. Sa inyong lahat, ako'y talagang nagpapasalamat sa kaibuturan ng aking puso sa pagmamahal na pinakita nyo sa akin. At talaga namang alam kong hindi ko kayo mababayaran, but yun ay credit nyo na sa heaven for helping me. So yun, hoping that, kasi umuulit daw to. Hoping na hindi na umulit sa akin para dire-diretso na at, I could go back to my usual self. For those I haven't, I kept in touch because of this procedure, with my condition, I'm really very sorry. But rest assured that I'm slowly picking up whatever was left, and, sooner or later, I would be able to grasp whatever I missed and all that. So, God bless and thank you very much. So, this is my condition actually. Still having some bursitis and all that, pero hopefully it will be cured by therapy. But this person itself, wala nang tumutusok sa akin, and I'm so grateful for all the angels, including Dr. Isagani Lial. Thank you very much, and I hope that all of you are okay and good. Stay healthy. Mahirap magkasakit. God bless. Thank you.